Good morning. Welcome to Youth Sunday. The guys have done so well so far, isn't it? Let's give them one more round of applause. We love you people. You're doing so well. I'd like us to have a little bit of a discussion with three of our youth today. So help me welcome them onto the stage. Alex, please come to the stage. Valencia, please come to the stage. And Mwangaza, fresh from looking for somebody else to say hi to other than Dad, please come to the stage. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Good.
And you?
You're good?
Yep.
How's Youth Sunday going?
Well, so far.
Well, so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good announcements, good worship. So,
The announcements were good, even if you were called out.
yeah,
You forgave your brother.
that bit wasn't good.
That bit. Did you meet somebody new?
Pardon?
Did you meet somebody new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So blink twice if you're safe. All right. Guys, I want to have a discussion with you guys about how your parents share their faith with you, their faith in Jesus. I know all of you, I know your parents as well, and I know they share their faith with you. They're very intentional about it. So I want to talk about what that's like for you guys. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's cool?
Yeah.
You can do it? Okay, let's go for it. Do you remember how old you were when they started sharing their faith in Jesus with you?
Yeah. So, the talk about Jesus and the talk about faith has always been there. But when my dad sort of finally sat me down and we started talking about God and the Bible more in depth, I was about 12 years old.
Okay, so 12 years old. Okay. So before that, he talked about it, but it would just like kind of fly over.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, Valencia.
I was probably around like 6 or 7 maybe when I started actually realizing, oh, this isn't just like a random person that they're talking about. Like this is like this is like God. This is Jesus. Like that was when I started like realizing who he was.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say we ever like sat down and had like a specific conversation. It just got mentioned enough that like it kind of all like got put together.
Okay. So before that, they would talk about it, but nothing. And then one day it's like, oh, this is actually a person.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex, tell us.
Yeah, for me, it was also like about when I was 12 years old. The talk was there, but I started personalizing it when I was around 12 years old.
So that's when it started making sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to build on something you said, Valencia. How did these talks go? Were they like, for you guys, were they structured like, did you have a, let's meet in the dining room at this time, bring your 12 study Bibles and a notebook and 3 pens and we're going to write and highlight? Or did you sometimes just talk about it when you're on your way to school or when you're doing chores or something of the sort? How did these talks go?
So a lot of the time we'll just be sitting down and having a conversation. And then the talk of religion, the talk of faith, the talk of God, it would just find its way into the conversation sort of. And then we would start talking about that. But also we have this like Bible study that we do with me, my brother, and my dad. We go in Tuesday evenings, we sit down and we open our Bibles and we study the Bible.
Okay. So a mixture of both.
Yeah, a mixture of both.
Valencia?
For me, I would say it's a little bit of both. Like sometimes it would just happen when we were like reading a book and like something happened, so someone would like ask a question, so it would like get brought up. But I also there were times where it would be more structured, like at Easter we'll like study a picture like from like the crucifixion of Jesus or like Palm Sunday, and we'll like read a passage from the Bible. Or last Easter we did like a fancy Jewish dinner with like
nice.
prayer
Yeah.
and devotional. Or like every Christmas we will do Advent where we light candles and like read a passage from the Bible, study it, like paint a picture. But other than that, most of the time it's just like here and there.
Here and there. So a bit mixed as well. Alex, how's it for you?
For me, most of the time it's not structured.
It's not structured.
Sometimes, like after devotions, we talk more about faith, but most of the time it's like either we're driving we just start talking about faith, and mostly we talk about what's on our hearts.
Okay. So just as you're going along, discussing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get into the fun stuff. What's the cringiest thing you've ever discussed when discussing faith in Jesus with your parents? Cringiest. They brought it up and you're like, no.
This comes in conversation a lot because it is there a lot and it is everywhere now. And that is the evils of the internet.
The evils of the internet.
Yes.
And this comes up a lot.
Yeah, not saying that the internet's bad,
Yeah.
but there are aspects and there are ways that you can be tempted and there are ways that bad things can seep into your life through the internet. And that's sort of, it's not fun.
Okay. Valencia?
Well, if I had an answer, I probably wouldn't be willing to share. But
Fair.
say I've exactly had any like extremely like cringy or embarrassing conversations, but one instance that when I look back on it and I'm kind of like, oh gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed that I did that, was probably when I was like around 6 or 7. So at that point I didn't know like the depth of Jesus very much.
Yeah.
So my mom caught me stealing candy, and
As moms tend to do.
afterwards we had this conversation about your conscience and how your conscience is something that God gave you, and that if you lose that, then you can't get it back. And how if you steal candy a lot, then soon that stealing will turn into like bigger stuff. Then soon your conscience will be gone and it's not going to come back.
Yeah, I hear you. Does mom bring it up a lot that you stole candy?
Not really.
Okay, good. You're safe. Alex, what's the cringiest thing you guys discuss at home?
Uh,
I can see the cringe manifesting. Huh?
okay, I guess girls.
Girls. Two guesses who brings this up the most, dad or mom?
Mom.
Mom. So she's always like teasing you. She's like, what does she say?
Yeah.
That you can share.
Like not. Well, she mostly like just teases me. Like,
Just teasing you all the time. Okay. Oh, mom. Mom is there, by the way. All right. Are there any things that you guys have discussed that were like difficult to understand? Like this aspect of Christian faith or God was just too difficult for you guys to understand?
For me, it was when my grandpa died. It was just the process of understanding why God takes.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because it's a challenge finding the positives and the good things in such like a rough situation. And so it was really hard to sort of find what good things came from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is dad's dad, yeah?
Dad's dad, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Mwanga. Valencia?
For me, something that would be really hard, is hard for me to understand, is God's power. Like, it's just so hard for me to wrap my mind around that, and how at the same time, He's so gentle and forgiving and loving. I think that's just something that's really hard for me to get into and to understand how He can be so loving and kind.
And still so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alex?
For me, you struggle to understand that my parents, as Christians, and older, more experienced Christians, they also struggle with things like doubt.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found that hard to understand at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I guess it was comforting for me to know that it's not only me who sometimes struggles with doubting God.
It is. Most of us do in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really brave of them to share with you. Guys, do you guys have something that your parents have shared with you, like Alex, that is a struggle for them? That you can share? Because, like Nema and I can take care of you guys for 2 weeks, but that you're on your own. Yeah?
Yeah. My mum, just before, came up to me and reminded me of one of the things that was quite hard going back just to my grandpa's death, I think it was 3 months later, my auntie had a miscarriage and her two twins unfortunately died. And it wasn't much break between the sort of dealing with
Grief on one
grandpas
side,
and
yeah.
then dealing with the twins.
Yeah.
It was a tough time, and it was a tough time for everyone there in the family. And it was very brave of them to go through it, through such a tough topic. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Thanks, Monga. Valencia?
I would say yes and no. There were some more like specific stories, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but sometimes after like we've been like annoying them or aggravating them, I will hear them like mutter under their breath, "Lord help me," or
Oh,
something
Lord.
like that. So that's part of their way of sharing with me.
That's how they share their struggles
Yeah,
with you,
like
under
how
their
they
breath.
struggle.
Good job, Valencia. Good job. Okay. Parents, I hope they still have a home, huh? I really do. Okay. Guys, tell me if there's one lesson they shared with you that, at first it was like just background noise, chatter, and then flew over your head. You're like, yeah, whatever. And then one day you went through something or did something and you're like, oh, this is what they were on about. Like one lesson that really helped you.
A lot of the time, I'm always thinking about the lessons I learn in youth, the lessons I learn with my dad, the lessons I learn with my mom, all of that. And I'm always thinking, okay, how can I now interpret that into just everyday life? So a lot of the lessons I find are quite helpful. And later that day, God sort of just like, all right, here you go. Here's the opportunity to use what you've learnt. Now show me that you have learnt, sort of thing. Yeah.
Indeed. Step into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Wanga. Valencia?
One of them I would say is how to love. Like, I feel like it's like really important to know because some people think, oh, if you love somebody, you just give them presents and be nice to them. But like, loving is also like taking care of them. And like, if the person is sick, you help them. Or if the person needs money, then you help them. Or like, for my parents, they feed me and keep me in their house, which very clearly shows that they love me.
Hopefully they'll still do that after this.
Another one I would say would be forgiveness.
Forgiveness, wow.
Like- Whenever me and my mom or dad or sister or brother fight, we always make sure to come back around and like say sorry and like make it up. We don't just like walk away and think and just like drop it and then don't actually say sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Valencia. Alex?
For me, it's gratitude. Usually, when they used to talk about gratitude, I used to just hear yeah, it's gratitude. But I never thought that I would have the chance or I'd ever see the need to apply it in my daily life. But that's still, I saw like people, I don't remember where we were passing, but like I saw people who have way less than I do. And I just remember that, I've not been thanking God for what I have and that I need that.
You need to. And it made sense at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Last question. One of the biggest lessons that you have loved learning from your parents that's really stood out for you. One of the biggest ones.
Mine is probably, we had a lesson on stinginess.
Stinginess.
Stinginess,
Okay.
yes. So I've been thinking, was that stingy? Okay. How can I be gracious now? Now that I've been stingy, it's sort of, not that I'm stingy a lot,
Yeah. For clarity. Yeah.
but I'm just thinking, how can I not be stingy and more gracious?
Yeah.
Sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. So taking active opportunities to be generous and gracious.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Manga. Valencia?
First of all, basically everything my parents have told me has been helpful.
Great answer, Valencia. Good job. Well done.
But I would say one or two of the ones that mostly stood out was how to consider others.
Yeah.
Like like how to like make sure that the people around you are comfortable,
Yeah.
like in their situation. Another one would probably be that nobody is perfect, and that everybody is on a journey with Jesus in their relationship with Him,
Indeed,
and that you
yeah.
don't need to be perfect to do that.
Indeed. That's a brilliant lesson. That's true. It's the same for us, all of us, for you guys, for our parents, for everyone here. We don't need to be perfect. It's really good, Valencia. Thank you. Alex.
I think love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even sometimes like, it's hard to love someone. Like either you fought with someone,
Yeah.
and like me and my sister sometimes we fight a lot, but
you love
we still
her?
end up being friends at the end.
Okay. I was trying to get you to say you love your sister on stage in front of 400 people, but I'll spare you. Yeah, but you still come back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were telling me something earlier about forgiveness as well.
Yeah, also forgiveness. Like
Yeah.
sometimes when either you've hurt someone or someone has hurt you,
Yeah.
like forgiving sometimes can be really hard.
It can.
Yeah, but it's a really important lesson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good, Alex. It's really good. Thank you guys so much. Congregation, let's give them a hand clap as they take their seats.
Thank you.
You have done amazing. Well done, guys. God bless.